Thank you for joining us, wherever you're joining us from in the world. It's great to have you here with us today. My name is Sam Woolway, and I'm the Summer School Manager for the University of Southampton. If you haven't already, please make sure to write your name and where you're from in the chat. It'll be really great to know where people are from here today. So before we begin, I just want to let you know that we are recording today's session to later make available on our website and on our YouTube channel, so people can watch it at a later date. So without any further ado, I'm excited to welcome you all to this information session on the University of Southampton Summer School 2024. Now, during the session, I'll be telling you about the University of Southampton as a whole, before giving you an overview of the summer school, including your course choices and accommodation. I'll then be handing over to our lead on the White Project, Zero Waste Design for Fashion, Dear Crow, and our lead on composition and sound practices research, Liz Gray. They'll be speaking to you a bit more about what you may be studying with them before allowing you to take part in a question and answer session at the end. Now, just a quick note to say that while I'm presenting, I won't be able to see the chat very easily, but do feel free to type any questions you may have as we go along, and we'll answer them at the end. So the University of Southampton is a global centre for excellence in research and education and a founding member of the Russell Group. So this means that we are a research-focused university with researchers and academics who are addressing some of today's biggest challenges through global partnerships and using our state-of-the-art facilities. We are the 17th highest ranked university within the Times Good University Guide 2024 and 81st in the world according to the QS World Rankings of 2024. We have several courses in the top 100, including being the 3rd in the UK for music, 16th in the UK for fashion and textiles, 17th in the UK for finance, and 23rd in the UK for business. Now, all of these schools are represented as part of our summer school for 2024, and so you can guarantee that you'll be getting a really great quality of teaching and learning. The university also has a very vibrant international student community with over 10,000 international students from more than 130 countries during term time. Now, even in the summer, there will be plenty of opportunities to meet both UK and international students while you're here and to make those friends and contacts which can really last a lifetime. Southampton itself is situated right on the south coast of the UK. And it's a port city, the same port that the Titanic sailed from over 100 years ago, and it has a large train station with links all across Great Britain. From Southampton Central train station to London, it takes around 80 to 90 minutes, meaning that the capital city is always accessible without having to pay those London prices for things while you are in Southampton. Southampton also has its very own airport with regular flights to mainland Europe. So if you're one of those lucky people who can get to the EU without an additional visa, you can easily get to France, Spain, Germany, the Netherlands, and many more places quickly and easily. Now, Southampton is also a multi-campus university with different classrooms all throughout the city. But most of the summer school will be taking place on the main Highfield campus, with our sustainable fashion course taking place on our specialist arts campus in Winchester, just over 30 minutes bus ride away from Highfield. Both campuses boast really green, relaxing spaces, with Highfield campus offering access to our sports centre and one of the largest university libraries in the south of England. Meanwhile, our Winchester campus houses the WSA gallery and a more specialist library to help with the course that you may be studying there. Okay, so now it's time to talk more specifically about the summer school. Now, the program will take place between the 6th to the 27th of July. So that's 3 weeks from Saturday to Saturday. So it includes our arrivals day on the 6th as well as a day to allow you to depart on the 27th. During those 3 weeks, you'll be taking one course of your choice. Each course is based on Southampton term time modules with the equivalent of 15 Southampton credits in terms of content and teaching hours. So that's equal to 7.5 ECTS or 3 to 4 US semester hours. However, please do speak to your home institution to ensure credits can be added to your program of study before you apply, as these courses are not officially accredited. You may also be able to take part in extracurricular activities such as continuous professional development workshops hosted by our careers department, on-campus activities, and walking tours of Southampton and London, all of which are included in our base fee. At the end of the program, students who successfully complete their assessments will receive transcripts, and all students who attended at least 80% of their classes will receive a certificate of completion. The fees for the summer school are on the screen now. The tuition fee is £2,250, so that's inclusive of a £50 application fee, but it also includes tuition for the full 3-week program and any field trips associated with your course. The social program, including those continuous professional development workshops mentioned before, the walking tour of Southampton and London. You'll also get a bus pass to get you around Southampton while you're here, and a University of Southampton hoodie as well. You can also see that if you apply before the 29th of January, we are offering a 10% discount on tuition. So that takes the price down to £1,980 plus that £50 application fee. Okay, so again, that is until the 29th of January. We also offer accommodation as an additional £1,245 and 75p. So you'll be offered accommodation in our Glenair halls of residence as an optional extra. If you are a current Southampton student and already have accommodation for summer 2024, this is not a requirement, but for everybody else, it is highly recommended that you take advantage of this. These are the same rooms that term time students stay in. So you'll be getting an authentic University of Southampton experience while you're here with us. Glenair itself is about 11 minutes walk away from Highfield campus and features a 24-hour reception, fitness suite, and many other facilities for you to use while you're here. All of our rooms are single occupancy, which means no roommates. You'll have a private bathroom as well, and a shared kitchen area and common room. The apartments are shared between 6 to 10 students with same-sex or accessible apartments upon request. If you do require anything like that, then please do include it in your application or let us know shortly after so we can make those arrangements. And also included in the fee is a selection of meals as well. So we would include breakfast every day. So that's Monday to Sunday, you get breakfast, and then dinner Monday to Friday, allowing you some freedom on the weekends. Now for 2024, we will be offering 4 modules, as you can see on the screen. In a few minutes, we'll be hearing from Delia Crow about the White Project, followed by Liz Gray about composition and sound practice as research. So I'm going to leave the details of those courses to them. We are also offering 2 business courses. Those are International Corporate Governance and International Entrepreneurial Finance. So in International Corporate Governance, you'll dive into the interests of the company's many stakeholders, such as shareholders, management, customers, suppliers, financiers, government, and the community, all with an international context. You'll gain a detailed understanding of the decisions facing firms over optimal structure of executive compensation and gain an advanced understanding of how legal and political systems and institutional frameworks shape corporate governance. As for the International Entrepreneurial Finance course, this will introduce you to the essential financial concepts and techniques associated with the financing and entrepreneurial startup ventures. So along with financing methods and financing entities such as informal business angel financing, as well as more formalized venture capital and private equity early stage financing. You'll be able to show a detailed understanding of the decisions facing firms over optimal capital structure and be able to contrast stock market versus banks and debt markets in terms of financing decisions. Now, more information on these and all of our courses are available on our website. There is a link and a QR code within this slide. As you can see, 2024 has a real mix of courses, all taught by University of Southampton academic staff and delivering a high quality experience which can be enjoyed by everyone, regardless of your current or previous field of study. And lastly from me, before I hand it over, a very important slide about our entry requirements. So all students must be at least 18 years old by our arrivals day on the 6th of July, 2024. That means that you're welcome to apply while you're 17, but you must have been born before the 6th of July, 2006. Having said that, there is no upper age limit. So whether you are currently studying, already graduated, or in another chapter of your life entirely, you are more than welcome to apply. As long as you are over 18, your age will not impact our decision on your application. If you are a current student or a recent graduate, we ask that you do send through a recent transcript in English shortly after making your application. This will help us assess your academic grades and your English ability. Those of you who are from countries where English is not an official language and have not been receiving instruction in English for the last 2 years must also send through some kind of English language equivalent certificate, such as IELTS or equivalent, with a minimum total of 6.5 overall and a minimum of 6.0 in each component. This must be dated within the last 2 years, though we will also accept other qualifications such as Duolingo and many others. Please do check the university website for a full list of what we accept. Please also ensure to check your visa requirements before you make any travel plans. So because of the short length of the program, it's only 3 weeks, most nationalities will be able to attend the program on a standard visitor visa that many people will be able to just get at the airport. However, you may need to apply for this before you arrive in the UK, so please do check on that. Great, and thank you very much for listening to this part of the presentation. As mentioned, I'll be back at the end to see if we can get a question and answer session going. But for now, I'm going to hand it over to Delia Crow for a deeper dive into our sustainable fashion course. Delia.
Thank you. As Sam said, the summer school that I'm going to be running is called the White Project to Zero Waste Project. Zero Waste Design for Fashion, sorry. And this is actually based on a project that I ran for several years with MA Fashion Design. And the idea behind the project was that the students would only use one fabric and one colour, just white. And it meant that the students, you can't be distracted by colour or print or accessories or anything else. It's just the fact that you're looking at a pure design project, which I thought was a really nice thing to do. and the material is called Tyvek, which I've got a slide next. And it's zero waste from a point of view of the students were able to use as much fabric as they wanted, but they had to use every single piece of it. And so you could have 10 meters, 3 meters, but if you cut anything out, you know, a circle or anything out, you would have to reuse that onto the garment. And it was just a way of making students, you know, making you think and reflect on the idea of sustainability, because it's such a large, broad subject. It can be a million different things. It's such a difficult thing to capture. So in fact, the idea was to just really focus on one thing, which would mean that, you know, you could really think about what you're doing, think about what you're making, but you weren't distracted by too many things. So the students always did some really amazing work. It was just for fashion design, but this summer school will cover fashion design or textile design. It depends on what your skill set is, and if you don't have skill or you're not experienced at sewing, it doesn't matter either. So on this page here you can see there are a few different things that I've got planned, so it's going to be quite lively. So I've done a summer school before on the White Project, and we did things such as I did a tour of Winchester. Winchester's really beautiful. It's a really old city, and actually just to go round Winchester, and I called it Textures of Winchester, and it meant that we could go out and draw and take photographs and just be really inspired by the space and the atmosphere and the, you know, the sights in Winchester city, because it is really beautiful. And I think it's lovely for you to feel that you're really in the city if you're going to be here. Obviously, you're not going to be in a classroom the whole time. We will be doing some really fun sort of discussions, seminars, lectures, presentations, including we have the most amazing library, so we'll do things in there. There'll be practical workshops, and we will be doing a London visit as well, because I think just to be able to go to maybe the Victoria and Albert Museum, they always have really good fashion exhibitions or design exhibitions, and just to get a bit more a bit of kind of inspiration as well outside of what you're doing in the school. So the material that I always use is called Tyvek. You may have heard of it. It's actually a material that they use for buildings. It can be used for insulation. It can be used, it is used for fashion occasionally, but the reason I like to use it is because of the things here. So it's bacteria resistant, it's non-woven, which means for a student with not that much experience of sewing, it doesn't matter, because it's a little bit like working with paper. It doesn't fray, which means it's really easy to work with. It's recyclable, and it is cheap. So these are the key reasons, and it just looks really lovely in white. And as you work with it, it becomes softer and just nicer to handle. These are just a few examples of some of the things that my previous students have done. So this is MA students in the past, but you can knit with it, you can drape it, you can fold it, you can put padding with it, you can pleat it. I've done this project for years and years, and I've never had two garments the same. So it really does show that you can do anything with this material. It really is fantastic. We have something at the school called the Fashion and Sustainability Forum, which runs every March. It's something that I founded in 2016, and that's where the idea for this project started. So we, you know, sustainability is obviously it's a big issue at the school. It's a big part of our curriculum, and so obviously it's a really important issue today. So this is partly why the project is based around that. And as I said, it will include, you know, discussions and information and us talking about, you know, what is sustainability, what does it mean to you, what can we do about it, what are the challenges and problems, and how can we address them. And we're not going to address them by making some swatches, but we will talk about the challenges and really discuss things as we work through what we're doing. I just wanted to show this because this was something that, again, one of my students had made. She did her final collection in Tyvek, but other materials as well. She wanted to do a sustainable wedding dress collection. And so I just thought this was a really good example of what you can do with Tyvek. And you can see in the middle where it's been cut, it really is a very flexible material. So the point of the project in the summer school will be that you will leave with some swatches or some designs, some textiles, some fashion pieces. It will really be up to you, but you know, you will leave with a really beautiful sketchbook. So this is one that I did before, which was really lovely. So you can see here on the left, everyone has like this sort of folded sketchbook, and that's where you put all your work, which means that you've got something that's really beautiful to take away with you when you leave, when you go home. It's not going to be really big, and it's something that you can use for applications and things because it's a really lovely sketchbook. But it also means we can have a kind of an exhibition at the end of the course. Just really, we can lay out all the work and just have a look at it and celebrate it. So you can see that these were different people sort of working together and really thinking about sustainability as a subject, but thinking about what the future of fashion could be, what could what could the outcomes be, and actually a lot of it is just having fun and working with your hands and just being in a really lovely art school environment. This is just, again, one of the students, so this, you can see, this is just a good example of how the students have used all the fabric. So you can see the lay plan there. So just to give you a sense of how you can use all the fabric that you're given. And then this is just, again, an example of some of the Tyvek pieces that we've made in the past. I'm showing you this because I think they're quite inspirational. I'm not saying I'm expecting anything like this because this is a 3-week course. It's a summer school. It's going to be fun, and it will be, it'll be up to each student what they want to get out of it. But just to sort of show you the applications of the fabric and what you could end up moving towards. And if you are good at sewing, absolutely you could end up with some things like this. So
that was fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. That those pictures of that wedding dress especially looked amazing.
Yeah,
really impressive.
Yeah.
Really great.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And so now I'm going to hand over to Liz Gray to speak about our module Composition and Sound Practice as Research. Liz, I have your slides here, so let me just get them up.
Great, thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Liz Gray. I'm the Senior Teaching Fellow in Composition and Creative Technology. And the summer school module that I'm bringing is very much based on my own research and my own practice and methodology. So I'm really appreciative of the opportunity to share this on a summer school level, and hopefully encourage anyone who takes the module to create a project that they can, take on and realize full scale. So the module is called Composition and Sound Practice as Research, and it took me a while to decide on the title, to be honest, because the module is for anyone from a sound-based practice, whether you are a composer or a music lover or a performer, as well as those who might find their interest in research and qualitative research. So the module is for both camps, if you will. And the essential question that we're asking throughout the module is, what is the acoustomology, or the sonic way of knowing and being in the world, of the socio-cultural context around me, and how might I exhibit, illustrate, represent, or replicate it? You can go on to the next slide, Sam. So I'll just give a bit of an overview, and then I'll leave it open for questions. As I said, this is the first time that I'm sharing this module, so I don't have previous examples of folks taking it, but I think that's a really exciting opportunity to develop this module and to really dive into what it potentially can be. But in terms of the aims of the module, we're really thinking about fusing the realms of sound, storytelling, and particularly ethnographic research. And at that intersection, that's where we will create work. It is, I'm asking that students take a multidisciplinary approach where you can decide whether you're going to orient yourself within the intersection of where you're going to orient yourself at the intersection of anthropology and art making. And you're also going to be thinking about critical theory and artistic practice case studies. Essentially, by the end of the course, you'll have a nuanced understanding of how sound and composition can illuminate the human experience, transforming ethnography into a multisensory immersive journey, whether that be an album, an exhibition, a virtual exhibition, or even a more art-led or art practice-based ethnographic paper. We can go to the next slide. So I think I will talk about the assessments and then back up just a bit. So assessments is a really daunting word to just describe the points at which we'll check to see how we're doing and to see how what we're creating. So the first assessment is a deep dive into the research question or what it is that we want to explore. And that's where you'll think about what scholarly underpinnings, so what authors, what thinkers are contributing to the topic that you're interested in, as well as the socio-political context of where you are or what topic you'd like to think about and turn into an exhibition or an album. The second assessment is, and the main assessment is a project proposal. So throughout the module, and I will take you through the format of the module, we're going to be working towards creating a very doable project proposal. And with the intention that you could take this to a funding organization or a sponsoring organization to effectively present your work. So the proposal will include a brief, a budget, information about the stakeholders that are involved, a timeline, as well as a proof of concept. So there's a wide array of things that could be included in your proof of concept or portfolio. But essentially, that is where we'd like to see you give it a go, essentially, of creating something that is representative of your project. Okay, you can go to the next slide. The topics that we'll go through will begin with an introduction to ethnography and art practice. Then we'll think about sound-based research methods and interventions. Next, we'll think about decolonizing research as well as listening. And finally, we'll talk about the nuts and bolts of what it means to really present and propose sound arts as research in terms of as a project, as an exhibition, so on and so forth. Next slide. In terms of the format, I would like to consider this an intensive. We are going to have some really exciting lectures. I'm hoping to include some friends, some other practitioners to offer some really incredible insights. We'll also have online seminars where you will take a deeper dive into some of the topics that I previously mentioned. We'll be doing some workshops where you will get to actually work on your practice, whether that be the portfolio, whether that be the project proposal or the portfolio element of it. And then, of course, there will be some open hours as well. It does also include a recommended field trip to Lindisfarne Castle, which is in Holy Island, very, very north in Northumberland. At the castle, I've been asked to present an exhibition that draws from this work, draws from this module. And so Embodied Cacophonies will be opening actually in 6 weeks, and it will be open during the course of the summer school. So I will be organizing a trip up there, and it's recommended that you attend if it's possible for you. Next slide, please. I guess that's it. Yeah, that's the overview of the module, and I'm happy to talk more via a Q&A.
That's amazing. Thank you very much. That's really fantastic. I know I've said this to you before, but as a former music student myself, I think that sounds really exciting. So that's really great.
Thank you. Yeah, you're more than welcome to join us.
I would if I could. That's great. So we have a little bit of space now for a possible question and answer session. Do we have any questions that have popped up in the chat? We do not. Do we have any questions from the audience of people listening in today? I know it can be a bit daunting to be the first person, but feel free to either unmute and ask or type in the chat and we will answer. Okay, no problem. If there are no questions, I'm just going to type the website address again into the chat because I know what always happens. I always turn my camera off, leave the meeting, and then think of about 1,000 questions I should have asked. But a lot of the answers should be on there. Otherwise, we do have our email address, which is summer@southern.ac.uk. Please do send any questions you may have over to there, and we'll be more than happy to answer. Sorry. Once more, thanks again to Delia Crow, to Dr. Liz Gray, and to anyone who joined us today. And I hope to hear from you soon. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.